wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a castle, how will you wear your leisure?
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan. This is James, and today we're gonna watch a blast from the past. That's right, Big Bill O'Reilly. We're gonna watch the lead up to the Iraq War. In fact, like right before it happens. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box. The website is at the intro to this video and our past videos. So please consider donating. Don't even consider. Just do it. Just do it. You tell us, we'll give you a shout out. Not that that means anything from us, but you know, you may want your name heard. I don't know. Just donate, all right, assholes? Do it. So, we have Bill O'Reilly. Now, for the kiddies out there, you may not remember, let's say, early 2000s and the star-studded Fox News. And their biggest star was Bill O'Reilly. And boy, could he sell some shit. He could sell war like nobody else. And just some of the most tyrannical sounding shit, the most neocon sounding shit, the most empty. The guy who sounds like he works right under the dictator type, verbiage. Yeah. That's Bill O'Reilly. And we're gonna watch this so you young people can see what the fuck we're talking about when we complain about neocons and when we complain about Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder and guys like this.
This is their daddy.
This is I'll say a rougher version of them. Yeah. Like their policies might line up very directly. They may believe in the same exact things.
I bet.
Just, they go about it in different ways. So, this is the O'Reilly Factor, March 19th, 2003. The night the Iraq War started. By the way, this is going to be like shit talking.
Look at me, my montage of tough faces.
This is going to be more of just observation and shit talking.
This is funny, man. The
yeah,
opening.
It's awfully funny.
Yeah. Gonna sell you some death.
Reporting from Washington. Thanks for watching us tonight. Short talking points memo this evening, so we can get right to our Iraq coverage. The memo will not be kind to Senator Tom Daschle. Right up front, I have to tell you, I do not respect Mr. Daschle. A few months ago, he publicly criticized the Fox News channel for not being fair to the Democratic Party. That, of course, is baloney. We have justice.
That's right. Bill's just right out in the open. Does not give a fuck. No semantics, no politeness. Just fuck this guy. He's like a degree below just saying fuck this guy.
It's baloney. It's baloney.
Yeah, if you said a word about Fox News in the past, this is what would happen.
Mm-hmm. As many Democrats on this network as Republicans. But what Mr. Daschle did not tell you was that we had invited him on the Factor dozens of times, and his staff always dismissed us rudely. Now, to be fair, lots of folks are rude to us because we don't pander to anyone. But Daschle was outrageous.
Except for neocon donors and what are they called? Advertisers and shit like that.
Advertisers.
You pander to them. Or your boss does. Rupert Murdoch does.
Oh, he bailed you out. I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Outrageous in his accusations and intellectually dishonest as well. Now, the South Dakota senator finds himself in the same position as Trent Locke. His credibility is finished.
I'm allergic to
As you may know, Daschle has criticized the war against Iraq, saying, quote, this president failed so miserably in diplomacy that we are now forced to war. But in 1998, when President Clinton bombed Iraq, Daschle said this: we have virtually exhausted our diplomatic effort to get the Iraqis to comply with their own agreements and with international law. Given that, we have got to force them to comply, and we are doing so militarily.
So you can already see the team playing that we see in today's media lexicon, right?
Back then.
Yeah, he's crapping on us now, but when Bill Clinton did it, he was all in. So what you're saying is both parties are pro-war.
Yeah.
No one wants to look at that.
It depends who's waving their flag.
They just want to have a war between Fox News and whoever, CNN or something.
Yeah.
Between the Democrats and Republicans.
So what's up with the hypocrisy, Senator? You were all for using force 5 years ago. Now, after 9/11, the threat from Saddam's weapons is even greater. What say you? The no-spin truth.
Tell him, Ben.
Yeah, so as we know, we have the hindsight. So the link between Saddam Hussein and Iraq with 9/11 does not work anymore. But it worked in this time period. I believe 70+% Americans were for the Iraq War. I believe soon after 9/11, George Bush had a 90% approval rating. So there you go. War and fear can do things to people that people
sure.
that might forget what happened.
Yeah.
Talking to you kiddies.
Truth is, Mr. Dashiell's playing politics in a time of life and death, and that should be unacceptable to all Americans, not just Republicans. Senator Lott lost power because his credibility dissolved after he applauded a philosophy that hurt African Americans. Now Senator Daschle is embracing a philosophy that is inconsistent with his past positions, and it is not helpful at all in the war against Saddam.
That's right. Sell that war bill. Sell it.
This is so creepy. It's like, this is real. This is real.
It's a stereotypical, like, model photographer. That's right.
Just look around. It says terror high alert high.
Turn to left a little bit. Sell that shit.
It's high terror alert. Look at that.
Yeah, no.
Left-hand corner.
Oh.
It's just everywhere.
We might get into that one day when they had color schemes for
the
terror level.
Look,
we're at orange terror level.
It's literally called talking points. Like, wow.
The Talking Points believes it is over for Tom Daschle, at least as far as national influence is concerned. I also believe the good people of South Dakota need to take a hard look at this guy.
It's over for him. Can you imagine an anchor just saying that? Like,
take a hard look at him.
Think about a guy who said nigger on camera. Maybe that would happen nowadays. But a guy just having a different political stance, like, it's over for him. He's done for.
Yeah. Like, huh? I guess it is.
Yeah. Sound like anybody? I don't know.
And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, here's the latest out of Iraq. The 48-hour deadline for Saddam Hussein to get out of Baghdad has passed. He has ignored it. War could come at any time.
Naturally, they don't show him and Bush shaking hands.
No, they won't.
Saddam Hussein and Bush shaking hands.
They'll never show
in the
that.
80s.
No. In his dad.
Thousands of U.S. troops are near Kuwait's border with Iraq, just waiting for orders to cross. Meantime, U.S. jets have dropped bombs on several Iraqi artillery guns in southern Iraq. And 17 Iraqi soldiers have surrendered already to American GIs near the Kuwaiti border. If anything breaks during this hour, we will, of course, bring it to you immediately. Joining us now here in our D.C. studios, Fox News military analyst, Major General Paul Vallely, and in New York, Colonel David Hunt. Major General, you out?
Both dudes look like supervillains. That should be a red flag for anybody that's ever involved.
They look like stereotypical military guys.
Oh, they look like supervillains.
And by the way, I believe most of the networks were doing this. They were bringing on certified Army guys.
Oh yeah, generals.
Maybe you should bring an anti-war guy on too. You know, have those guys.
Don't you remember Donahue counted as 2 libertarians?
It's like, listen, we're already going to bomb them. How do we go about it? Instead of like, should we be doing this at all?
For every libertarian Donahue had on, he had to have on like 2 of the opposing side, and he counted as 2.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And then he got fired for it.
Yeah, so it's basically, well, Phil, if you have somebody else on, that means we're gonna have 4 of these guys.
General butt naked.
No, General, I'm empty.
So yeah, that's one of Jimmy Dore's points, that Phil Donahue got fired for criticizing the Iraq War.
It's like General M.T. Life. M.T. Life.
All right.
Rank the colonel, so we'll begin with you.
Oh, starting already. Okay, here we go.
You know what?
Gonna kill people.
Oh yeah, there's about to be bombs blowing up cities right now. Just plenty of innocent lives dead.
Give me something to shoot. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah. Fuck.
Laughing and joking.
Fucking.
All right, nuts
Demon.
and bolts. All right, nuts and bolts. The order has already been given, you believe, to attack, correct?
I think so. Yes, Bill.
All right, and you were briefed today by very high-ranking military officials, correct?
That's correct.
All right. How does it go down from here?
Well, what happens, Bill, once the president gives the order to launch the military campaign, that then goes from the Pentagon, from the White House to the Pentagon, down to Central Command, and then, of course, over to Qatar, where the main headquarters is. Or it may go directly to Qatar from the Pentagon.
That's where General Tommy Franks
That's where General Franks is, and he's running the operation, just like General Schwarzkopf did
in the first
back in
Gulf War.
1991.
So Franks...
So just remember... Huh?
Schwarzkopf.
Just remember that Bill O'Reilly, like if you know Bill O'Reilly and his his public image and shit, he's the guy that challenges people and he makes controversial. You won't see that here. You won't see that with army generals on.
It's literally him
He's
sitting.
like, tell me what we do.
Yeah, him sitting back. Just say whatever you're gonna say.
And you'll see an example of that later on.
Yeah.
has the discretion to launch when he feels the conditions are best.
That's correct. And what those conditions are, weather, what the enemy is doing, are the troops in the position to launch the attack. So all of those have to come together in the best possible way.
How do they...
You can tell this guy's already in a mindset.
Oh yeah.
The enemy? It's like, whoa.
The target. He'll use words like enemy, target, neutralize.
Yeah.
Like casualties.
Entry zone.
They lost their lives. Yeah, they lost it. I don't know where I misplaced mine.
Regimes.
Yeah, regime change.
So
and so forth. Yeah.
This is the king of regime changes. Like this whole war probably coined that term.
Yeah.
Like made it cool.
They communicate in Qatar with General Franks and his commanders on the Kuwaiti border.
Well, fortunately, with the satellites, Bill, today we can communicate wireless in many cases or secure landlines. So they have a variety of methods to communicate, even through the internet.
Primarily phone, correct?
Phone and even internet.
And it's okay. They have computers.
Sure,
and
absolutely,
like
that are basically classified.
So Franks doesn't have to go back to the Pentagon now. It's his call when they go.
Well, they're on the line all the time, and so he'll tell the president we're going to launch on such and such an hour. Maybe it's 1 o'clock this morning.
But he will tell the president before he tells him.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So that's what he has to do is notify we're ready to go and we're launching at this time on this day.
All right. Now,
so imagine like General Bill. So he's the general. Yeah, and his name's Bill. He's in charge. It's on his orders. I see. Like the fucking facade of questions being asked.
Yeah, and the little 2 minutes that we sort of cut out was from a different show. I think it was Shep, whatever his name is, Shepard, Shep.
I think so.
Some shit like that. And the very beginning of this clip, it's a guy talking about daisy cutters on steroids.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck?
He's like the showgirl in The Price is Right, showing off prizes and shit.
Yeah.
It'll cut off 20 limbs in one shot.
No, it's no, you pull the curtain. Well, Bill, right here we have the daisy cutter. 30 limbs in less than 2 seconds, and blood will splatter. You gotta present it like this.
Yeah, no.
You have white gloves.
But it's like that, but it was the manly version.
On steroids.
He's like daisy cutters on steroids. All right, let's continue.
obviously, the enemy can intercept cell phone calls and all of that. So the safer way is on the landline or
That's what we
the
call secure transmission.
Okay. Now, Colonel, what are you hearing in New York among your sources?
Yeah, you had a bad little firefight in Basra with some special air service. British 2-2 SAS. They whacked a bunch of Iraqis there. Probably killed about 10.
Whacked a bunch of
whacked.
Iraqis.
There's no filters. They don't give a fuck.
Look at this dude.
They'll say anything except like curse words.
Whacked a bunch of Iraqis there. Had to put them and bury him in the ground.
Like he said, whacked on national TV.
Dude, that's mob shit.
That's human bodies being destroyed. They got whacked. Yeah.
You happen to Tammy?
And they're in there to help these great Marines and British soldiers that are going to hit to Basra. We also had Air Force bombing today, some artillery pieces that will also could affect these great guys going for Basra. Also, we got a sandstorm problem, which is...
They're always good guys, always great guys.
Yeah. We're always reading shit,
A
too.
mantra here.
Always reading something off a podium. Yeah. My bad.
I don't think he's
teleprompter.
I don't think he's reading that much.
My
don't think he's reading.
intuition tells me he's reading something.
Maybe little details here and there, but I don't think he's reading.
It's still creepy. Still creepy.
maybe why we didn't see bombs drop as soon as 8 o'clock tonight landed. The problem is, as the general can verify, talk to you about, is the fact you've got lasers can be affected somewhat by the sand. And again, it would attack when we're ready, when it's right for us, and all the pieces are lined up, because there's a big difference how we're going to do this from last.
This is Sports Center for like war and shit.
Yeah.
It's like they're telling statistics of what weapons can do and shit like that.
Isn't it better for the U.S. to maybe hold back for a day and just spook the Iraqis like crazy, because they're got to be jumpy? I mean, they're running across the border. Someone to surrender now.
Sure.
If you thought he was going to say, shouldn't we hold back and think about this for a second? No.
Let's just scare them. Let's just scare them.
Say another tactic to kill as many as we can.
Christ.
Just sneak up on them.
Scared the fuck
The longer
out
you
of
wait,
them,
the more
make
the
them go.
problem is you're going to have more Iraqis coming across to give up, but we have a better plan. Yeah, absolutely. And that, the guys, the smart guys are thinking of just that way, psychological operations people that are advising the general in Qatar and the people of the Department of Defense and tell people exactly that way. But my bet is after the president gave the okay to the general, you go when you want, that now they're playing that game. But I also think, as the general's already mentioned,
you guys go where you want. Do what you need to do. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, once again, this is all hindsight. We know what actually happened. But
Oh, yeah.
this is still the lead up. This is like moments before they
This is like
bombs
this,
over Baghdad.
This would not fly today.
No.
They're going to have to be way more subtle than this.
The philosophical question is, did they need this to happen in order to say that they didn't need this to happen?
Yep. Probably.
that weather is one of the key factors, and I think the sandstorm thing is a problem.
Okay. Now, General, when it launches, all right, it's going to be simultaneous, correct? North, South, Basra, Air Force, Marines, boom.
That's right. That's right.
Boom.
Total.
Or just boom. Just boom. Just boom. Just dead body. Boom.
Nope, not dead bodies. Just boom.
Yeah, it's guys watching war from their comfortable living rooms.
Oh, you mean
Safe.
penthouse.
It's just boom.
You mean penthouse.
Why do you think we criticize Ben fucking Shapiro when he's so pro-war on everything?
Yeah.
It's like, here's your history lesson.
Those guys are babies of this era.
Yeah.
Straight up, you know.
Yeah.
This was like the most rampant shit I've ever seen.
You would have heard a worse and a less filtered Ben Shapiro if he was an adult in this time period talking on Fox News.
Yeah. Or more exposing.
Yeah. I don't think he would have been as popular, but
Fuck no.
he would have had a less of a filter, I think.
Dude's a byproduct of like you're a product of your time, meaning you're only popular because one, the internet, two, silly people. That's literally it.
Yeah, college kids.
Take away all that shit, what do you have to offer?
Bill O'Reilly light.
Yeah.
Joint force operation coming from many different directions, Bill. North, from the west, from the south, maybe two-pronged attack, what we call an axis of advance up from Saudi Arabia maybe, and Kuwait, and even from the Persian Gulf where we have the Marines on those ships with helicopters.
Oh, Kuwait.
Now, I think what they may do, there will be a northern front, Bill. There's no doubt about that. That was confirmed today. There will be a northern
Yeah,
front.
Turkey's going to let them bring special commandos through. And
Probably let some come in under the radar, use the bases. But the Marines have the capability, as well as the 101st, to air assault up there over land. And they can do that, of course, much more rapidly than the tanks or the mechanized division. So I think
Oh my god.
More Sports Center sounding, but we're talking about military actions. People
Airstrike. Tank division.
Yeah.
What? I'm just imagining.
Just imagine. Yeah. Just imagine we're on Sports Center and they bring in like a special analyst for like the NBA draft. That's what these guys sound like.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they sound
They
like.
sound like they have no soul.
Or like a GM during the trade deadline, like a special guest. Ex-GM.
It's like Brian Cashman gives his take
Yeah.
on so-and-so trade.
Former Yankee GM Brian Cashman is here to analyze the upcoming trade deadline. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah.
It can get explosive. That's right. Boom.
Maybe some airborne operations, air assault very early on.
But all at once. All at once. Not like the first Gulf War where there was the Air Force and everything.
That's right.
Now, Colonel, I want to show
Yeah,
a
just
picture
one of your
live
words right
shot
there. Yeah.
from Baghdad tonight. And not a lot of parties going on there, okay? The Associated Press reporting the city is a ghost town, that most people, it's a city of 5 million, most of the citizens of Baghdad have gotten out of Dodge. They're gone. And this
That's, you know, it's a little lotion easing you in for when they fuck you in the ass.
Yeah.
It's like Batman vs. Superman, and they added extras to that kept explaining that the city was empty, so when they destroy it all, there's no, like, innocent people dying.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, why are we doing it? Like, half the city's out for dinner. There's no one here.
Yeah, I know.
So they can justify destroying that entire, like, little
Yeah.
island place.
Fuck, man.
will make it a lot easier for coalition forces, correct?
Absolutely. What we're trying to do with this simultaneous attack that's been very well described already is avoid as much as we possibly can civilian casualties and hurting civilian buildings, even bridges.
I know 100% way you could avoid doing that.
It's like evil Joe Pesci.
I can think of it.
Yeah, what?
It's like, abstaining from sex. It's like there's only 100% way to not get pregnant. You could do the same thing with civilian casualties. There's a 100% guaranteed way to avoid civilian casualties.
Like, unless you're God and you decide to rape someone. You're the new Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that, they've abandoned the place, it looks at, but they leave the lights on, which is easier for us. This is not a smart guy that's running this from Baghdad. But yeah,
You escaped death many times.
Yeah, it took you a while to catch him.
Clever. Clever.
And he made WMDs magically disappear, so
Yeah, magically.
I'm sure he has superpowers or something.
There's many clones of him running around too.
Yeah.
Just in case someone tries to shoot him.
It's almost like he understands the tactics you'll use against him.
It's not like at one point or time he ever worked for any type of government agency.
It's almost like he knows them intimately.
this looks like everybody understands what's about to happen. And as you've already mentioned, maybe making them sweat them out a few more hours makes them make some more mistakes. And also on the simultaneous attack issue,
I'm probably gonna
I also think
die.
we got guys already in country,
Oh,
very
he knows.
close.
Yeah,
Saddam knows he's
Can you
dead.
imagine? It's like, I know I'm gonna die.
There's the little broadcast before that, like the beginning 2 minutes of this.
Yeah.
When it's the other guy's show, he's like, the U.S. is asking to Saddam to walk away from Iraq and let us take him in, or something like that.
Yeah.
He knows he's dead. He knows he's done for.
Yeah.
100% he knows that.
we don't want you to. We got a special forces guy coming up behind you.
Tornado
And he's going to tell
tonight.
us where they are,
Yeah,
and what
it's a
they're
good guy.
doing.
My son's gonna catch you.
That is, of course, happening right now. Well, it looks like that. The calm before the storm, obviously, and we're all praying that this goes the USA's way.
Just really shows that those guys are fucking psychopaths. They don't give a fuck. They're shaking your hand one day, the next day it's like, dude, you're gonna die. They don't care.
And calling on God to pray for, the success of America
Yeah.
in a bombing campaign.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy. That's why we call
No,
these
that's
guys
very-
fake Christians.
It's very creepy.
That's why we call them fake Christians.
Yeah.
But the orders of kill Saddam or capture him.
Capture or kill. They really want to try him for war crimes.
Do they
but,
really? Where? In The Hague or?
Well, it could be, or even within Iraq itself. There's a couple options going around, but
They'll try him for war crimes and then put him to death. Whatever it is, he's dead. Whatever it is.
I'm pretty sure what happened was they tried him for war. Like, something happened, captured him, they released him back to his people or something like that. It's like, oh, you're gonna die, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hanged.
Yeah. He knows he's dead. He's just, holding it off as long as he can.
Yeah.
going to get him, and if he stays in Baghdad or Tikrit, we're going to have our Delta Force go in, our special ops, and they're going to do what they call a snatch operation. They're going to snatch him, grab him, and then they'll deal with him.
Well, I hope they slap.
Like they did with Osama bin Laden, just like that. Snatch and grab him. They killed him first, then they snatched and grabbed him. Then they dropped him off in the ocean.
Like, come on. Everyone should be like, fuck you guys.
I'm just saying, like, this is why we're playing this, guys. Maybe you'll be a little more critical. Some of the fans of these guys.
Yeah.
The
never existed
of his sons before they do. All right, General.
Thanks,
Colonel, thanks very much. We'll be seeing you guys throughout our coverage. And next on the rundown, as we mentioned, U.S. Special Forces already engaged in combat. We'll tell you how. And then a call for Secretary of State Powell to resign. We'll tell you why. Right back as the Factor continues from D.C.
I can just imagine dudes running, juking dudes,
Talking point.
jumping over people, dunks.
In the Unresolved Problem segment tonight, we have had an interesting discussion on the Radio Factor today about freedom and the abuse of it. I submit to you this evening that any American who commits civil disobedience in this time of war and terror is putting other Americans in danger. That's because
if you protest this war, you're putting lives in danger. That's right, guys. This was an actual broadcast from Fox News. I wouldn't be surprised if this video gets pulled down. If our video gets pulled down.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I mean, I don't even think we need to comment about it.
No.
Here's his reason why this is dangerous.
Orwellian brainwashing nightmare shit.
the authorities should be focusing all their energies on protecting us from killers, like those on 9/11. And if those authorities are diverted by dragging you out of the street, our protection is not as great as it should be.
Fear.
Freedom of speech is fine. Breaking the law in this intense time is not.
Fear, 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 fear.
I mean, come on, guys.
Look everywhere on the screen. Civil disobedience. It shows him. Terror alert high. Look on the bottom, terrorist attacks. For more information, log on to www. You know?
Yeah.
Just, I'm looking everywhere. It's like this is just straight up fear.
This is
signaling.
This is almost what like half of V for Vendetta was based on. Like it's like shit like this.
Oh, hell yes. Like, who do you guys think that? Who do you guys think that fucking television political commentator was based off of?
Yeah.
Who do you guys fucking think that was based on?
So here's the logic, guys. Don't go out and protest because you'll take up time from the cops. See, the cops will have to round you up and throw you in jail.
Yeah.
Because you're angry about a fucking war going on. You don't want a war. So cops will have to round you up and put you in jail. And that'll distract them from the real terrorists that are lurking behind every corner, ready to let a bomb go off. Because we're attacking Iraq, which is not Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
Who Saddam was actually fighting terrorist groups.
By the way, he's probably corrupt anyway.
Oh, yeah, he's
a corrupt piece of shit.
Yeah.
So.
He should have been gone from their own people.
Yeah.
Through democratic process.
Like, oh, you're corrupt. Goodbye. Get out.
But in the Constitution... No, get the fuck out of here. You're done. Rules change. You're done.
With us now in our New York studio is Professor Dave McFadden, who is chairman of the History Department at Fairfield University in Connecticut, and he sees things a bit differently. Now, Professor, when we were talking on the radio, you were saying historically America has a long tradition of dissent during war, and that's true. But it's different now because the war is here on our soil, and all the authorities...
But it's different now. Morals change now.
Did you guys catch that? The war is here on our soil. He's talking about... I guess radical Islamic terrorism.
Yeah.
But then we're also talking about Iraq, which they don't go together.
No, they don't.
So you can see like the brainwashing techniques he's going for. And trust me, like I said earlier, Bush's approval rating was pretty high.
Yeah.
70+% Americans were for the Iraq war, which means this bullshit was working.
Yeah, it was.
They were lying to us and it worked.
Motivation by fear.
Yeah. And I mean lying to us in the spirit of it, not the legal term of lying.
Oh yeah.
Authorities must be coordinated to protect us. As I said, to divert their attention elsewhere, I think, is dangerous.
In the entire history of
when we first watched this, I was hoping he was going to be like,
"Yeah, no,
I'm going to wreck you now," but
nope.
U.S. dissent during wars. There have been occasions like this in the past. There have always been dissent, and dissent must be protected if American freedoms are going to be protected. It's a major feature of the Bill of Rights, freedom of speech, and it's been struggled for over many years, from the American Revolution to the Civil War, to the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. Every time there have been protesters, and that protecting that right is absolutely critical to protecting.
But there's a difference.
I wonder if all those wars were based on a lie. Huh. I wonder.
Either way, I would say for that small section, that guy made a good point.
Mm-hmm.
But
not good enough.
Let's continue. Let's continue and see if he says anything else.
The difference between protesting legally and illegally, and I'm going to submit to you. You see, look, you know what I'm saying here. This is different.
What?
It's a different circumstance.
Wait.
And that protecting that right is absolutely critical to protecting.
But there's a difference
American freedom.
the difference between protesting legally and illegally, and I'm going to submit to.
No, they're all illegal. That's the point of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're supposed to be illegal. They're supposed to be like, this system thing is the thing that's fucking with me right now.
Yeah.
I need to stand against it.
Yeah.
It's not, can we please march down the street right now? Please?
No.
No, you can't. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sure those guys did not get permission to walk on the street with
No.
signs and say, fuck this
no.
war.
No.
So this type of protest, nah.
No.
It's going to be illegal.
You see, look, you know what I'm saying here. This is different.
know.
It's a different circumstance. We need all our law enforcement to be protecting us against attacks at home. We don't need, and I believe it is morally wrong, for these protesters to divert those people away from protecting us.
Holy shit, man.
See how he twisted the scenario around?
Literally
it's
like
moral.
bending.
It's a moral question here. Okay, you're anti-war? Well, you need to put that aside because there's a bigger moral question here. Are you distracting cops or not? There could be a bomb going off right now. Who knows?
Fear, fear, fear. It's like if you turn the bullshit meter, if the bullshit like waves off, all I hear out of him is fear, death, fear, dying, boom.
This was allowed to happen on national TV.
Yeah. For a good how many years?
When the internet was not as poppin' as it is now.
No.
And TV was the shit. And he had a shitload of viewers. It's like this was just allowed out in the open.
Yeah.
Professor?
How long did this go on?
For a while, till people started realizing.
2, 3.
Oh shit, this war is bad, isn't it?
I mean, like years he was fucking like the shit. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Who cares?
I give a fuck. Like that's insane. That before you had Jon Stewart's on national TV going like, he's full of shit. Da da ha ha.
Oh
like,
yeah.
This dude was probably just went rampant for a good 2 to 3 years. Really?
Yeah.
Like who's there? Donahue?
No, you got fired or whatever. I think. Whatever.
It is morally wrong.
I think there's a difference between deciding that at this point in time it is wise to commit civil disobedience, and I think it is not. I think it is wrong at the moment.
Wow, another fucking...
Another, either wet noodle Democrat or a light conservative. Like that's they set up the opposition so that it's easy to argue against. It's like, man, where do we see that at? They need to talk about, the Democrats. I mean, CNN and MSNBC and Kamala Harris and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Just what a empty life.
See how you set up, your counter people.
Yeah.
To where it's like easy. Because Bill's not the smartest guy ever.
No, he's clever though.
So you set someone up who, he can handle.
Commit civil disobedience.
Good. I'm glad you feel that way.
But the right of civil disobedience, that is people breaking the law for moral reasons, and they know they're going to take the penalty for that. That right is firmly entrenched in American history,
All right,
from Henry
fine.
David Thoreau
In theory,
up to now.
I'm not.
Jimmy Dore would have said, fuck you already.
Yeah.
He would have been kicked off the air, but he would have went down as a legend. Either that or they wouldn't have aired it. And he would have had his own recording of it.
What he would have done is, he would have aired it, but he would have, see, this is why Mr. Dore needs to learn how to behave like an adult. Maybe next time you learn how to be a man. Anyway, next on the Spin Zone, or whatever the fuck. He would have aired it, but he would have fucking like just tweaked with it, and he would have kept taking jabs at him for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's the kind of dude this he is. I remember that shit. Such a fucking asshole, man.
It's kind of funny, man. He's kind of funny. Bill O'Reilly's just a funny-ass character. All right, let's continue.
He's a fun boy. That's what he is.
Let's continue.
Like, you punk.
I can argue with you, but I will tell you this. If I find out anybody is doing that, all right, and today, just today in Washington here, people were arrested. Again, taking the Washington police away from their primary duty of protecting the people who live in the city because these idiots were trying to block traffic. It is more...
Maybe the protesters were considering, all life.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wait, there's a way we could save our lives and their lives? Fuck.
Morally wrong for them to do it. They should be condemned
Morally
by
wrong.
Americans and
This is the last
shunned.
person, one of the last people
No,
that
they
should
should
fucking
be
be talking about
protected because
morale.
otherwise, what are we fighting for in this war? If we don't have our freedoms, if we don't have
You don't have the
ability
freedom to
dissent,
become a public safety hazard. I don't want my family attacked because you're going to stand out in front of
Pause
my
it.
driveway.
You don't want your family attacked, you'll just do it, right?
Fuck.
You'll do it.
But he's full of shit here. We all know it. He knows it. And he has to sell something.
Nah.
He's selling the war. He's selling it so hard. You can tell.
I feel bad for saying
I
it.
don't even think he's angry right now.
I feel bad for saying
Yeah.
it.
I don't even think he's angry. I
No.
think he taps into his zone, which is commendable that he could do that. Taps into his zone and plays angry.
That's,
I think.
Very sociopathic of him. Just to have a switch to turn on. Angry now.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't do that and put other people in danger.
Yeah.
Like this fake care.
Your anti-violence stance is going to cause violence.
What?
Do you see the Orwellian nature of it?
I care about you, which is why we need to kill. Huh?
Yeah. Need to protect freedom by taking it away.
Listen, we're going to save lives by ending them. Go!
Orwellian nature. You can see
Yeah.
that here.
Waving a sign. It's a public safety issue now.
the problem with calling it a public safety issue, this has been true before in American history. We act like this situation
Careful, they might cough on each other.
is complete.
They're spreading influenza right now. Coughing to sneezing. It's winter out. Germs
There's probably a fuck ton more.
What if they get cops sick? Huh?
Listen.
While they're getting their faces stomped in, what if they pass on
What if
some sort of disease?
What if they step on each other's feet? Huh? The working class won't be able to go to work. Then we're fucked. What's going to happen now? Huh?
Shit can happen. Our economy could
What are you gonna
crash
do?
because of that.
What are you going to do?
My God.
Listen. Lions don't live here. It's like, huh? Dogs have 4 legs.
You're actually
Cat goes meow. Dog goes bark. Okay. What?
not a bad Bill O'Reilly.
Well, that's what he does. I told you, I've seen this guy since I was a kid. He was on TV. This dude was on when I came home. I'm like, I had to listen as I was doing homework. I'm like, this dude's an asshole. Just doing my homework and shit. I didn't even know anything. I'm like, you just sound like an asshole, man.
All right, let's continue.
Sound like a tyrant.
Completely new. Of course, the World Trade Center disaster is completely new.
Absolutely.
But the idea of using bombs,
It's probably way
the idea
more.
of
They're just
blocking traffic
shrinking
like
the camera
Mayday,
down.
This
Like,
has
there's only
happened
like 10
before
of
in
them.
American
Yeah,
history.
but Professor, you're apologizing for people who may get other people killed because of their own ego.
No.
We all
He has no.
Meanwhile, the peace sign isn't there. War is a sick whatever.
The new kids call it virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Was this virtue signaling, guys? Was this virtue signaling?
Say no to the war with Iraq.
I think if Ben was in this era, he'd be saying that. Ben Shapiro, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he'd be saying he's liberals and they're just virtue signaling. They want kudos for
Our troops are not Exxon. What a horrible thing to say. Yeah, like, how could you? Of course they're not.
Know that
They just
you
want
can
attention.
stand on your property and wave your sign all day long.
That's the solution. Just everybody stand on your front lawns and hold your signs up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the news is going to come by there. Yeah, the nightly news where their voices could be heard. They're going to come by there. Just roll through every
The
neighborhood.
cops are gonna show up. How'd you get over that fence? Officer McGee, arrest him.
They should stay away from
Got it, sir.
They should stay away from Times Square, where it's a very popular place, and they should just stay on their front lawns. Just do it there.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck, man.
They do a sit-in. Listen, you're gonna create a public safety hazard.
He's essentially saying just argue in your head. Don't say it out loud. He's essentially arguing for
Dogs.
when he says stay on your front lawn or something.
Dogs have tails. It's like, Christ, man. This was
Call
real.
up your friends or make a banner or take a television or radio or newspaper advertisement.
If someone is
Take a newspaper advertisement out. It's like, yeah, that'll make it before those bombs start
This
dropping.
reminds me when we had Cameron on. It just shows everybody, even kids, like, oh, you know shit about the Iraq War? You want to know how full of shit this guy is? You watch this interview. Come here.
He said take out a newspaper advertisement, shoot a commercial, and say it that way. That yeah, those guys can compete against the war industry.
Oh yeah, with all the multi-million-dollar media,
Some
fucking
tiny section on page 58. That usually gets lost anyway.
Hey, dude, these guys that talk on TV are definitely getting six figures.
Yeah.
How much did you spend on your little anti-war campaign? Oh, you had an ad in the paper. Where was that? Page 100?
It's like, hey, Bill, they made it on your fucking show, didn't they? I think that's one of their aims. So people actually realize this is happening.
I believe they're handpicked.
Oh.
These people that are on his fucking show.
No. The protesters made it on his show, right? He's talking about them.
Oh, that? Oh, never mind.
So that's part of their goal is that, like,
Yeah.
hey, people should be talking about this. That doesn't, we're about to do this war thing.
The aggressors.
Yeah.
Bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah,
the
I see it.
aggressors. Fuck. You're the fucking
Willing to
aggressor.
block
Don't
traffic,
divert the
they should
law
be arrested.
enforcement authorities away from their duties because of your ego. That's what it's about. It's ego.
not always about ego. There's
This
some
case it
very,
is.
There's some great issues
Dogs
of
have four
conscience
legs.
here. There's people who are opposed to war in any form. There are people around the world and in this country that are opposed to this war. They have a right to demonstrate.
Yeah, on their property, not breaking the law.
No, they have a right to
No, they don't.
protest
And
public.
Fuck are
Right
you
on their
talk-
front lawn.
What
Just
are you
stand there with a
talking
picket
about?
sign on your front lawn.
They're gonna take shits on your lawn. Do you want to have to clean that up? It's about ego. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's illegal. He's saying it's illegal to protest.
I'll tell you what, if I were a prosecutor, I'd charge them with multiple felonies. I'd make their life a living hell. Hey, Professor,
What the fuck, man?
He said that out in the open about people protesting war. Yeah.
This dude's a real.
I'd prosecute him for multiple felonies. He's saying it's illegal to be against war, basically. In his own way, he's saying that.
Can you imagine? Like, just wait.
Yeah.
Wait till the movie Real plays for him. Just wait.
I think he already saw flashes of it.
appreciate your point of view. Very lively debate. Thank you. Next on the
That
rundown,
wasn't
the
a
most
debate.
controversial story of the evening, if you can believe it, are some networks biased against the USA vis-a-vis Iraq. We'll name names. We'll debate it.
No, you won't. You won't debate it. You'll fucking shit on them on live
And if
TV.
anyone critiqued anything,
Yeah.
are they biased against the
Look,
United States?
anti-U.S. bias. That's what they say and shit.
By the way, those networks weren't. I don't even know if those guys were.
Oh, probably not. Look at all their faces.
I know two of those guys, but fuck, I forget their names. Whatever. Gives a fuck. I don't
Me,
think
it's
it helps
just,
enough.
hey, why are you guys all similar? What's going on here?
In a
Look
moment.
corporate to me.
Time now for the most ridiculous item of the day. As you may know, actress Susan Sarandon is about as left-wing as they come this side of Beijing.
That's right.
What happened was he tried to go out with her, and she didn't have nothing of it.
That's right, guys. Even back then, they were shitting on Susan Sarandon, blaming her for shit.
Yeah.
Just like some Democrats blame Susan Sarandon for Hillary getting.
Look at that face.
Or
man.
Hillary not winning.
That's the face of a troll. He's like, it's like box office didn't break the budget, did it? Shows you which good she is. Anyway.
Now that I think about it, they should have picked the worst picture for Susan Sarandon. She looks too nice and pretty there.
Belle
this Joker
just looks like an absolute troll.
You have the face lean.
Yeah.
Things lean to one side. Like, oh, that's sarcasm, isn't it?
Yeah.
However, her 79-year-old mother, Lenora Tomlin, says, quote, I am a conservative. I voted for George W. Bush, and I simply agree with most everything he has said.
So what?
Who cares? He's like, you see the joy on his face. That's right, your mother.
See, your mom's on my side.
I know, see the joy on his face.
It's like, what do you
fucking like pure evil or something. His character is pure evil. I'll put it that way.
It's fun. His character is evil.
Human being needs work, but
the character he plays on TV is straight up evil.
Pure evil.
Straight up, man.
Oh my god.
This ain't him. There is no Bill. There is no Bill.
Oh my god.
Now, wouldn't you like to go to Easter dinner with Susan and Lenora? I would. Might be ridiculous, but it could be a lot of fun. Finally, tonight, the mail, tons of it about the Pope.
You gonna drag her down the
Kevin
steps too?
Parasol, Arnold, Maryland. Bill, I heard you say you are a Catholic, but you disagree with the Pope. I know Saddam is a bad person who kills his citizens, but you should know that what counts is the afterlife. Saying bad things about the Pope will only hurt you in the afterlife. Well, Mr. Parasol, allowing innocent people to be killed is not going to do you too much good in the afterlife either, if you get my drift. Suzanne.
Even the Pope's not awful.
Everyone's a target. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Jesus could reincarnate right in front of Bill O'Reilly, and he will not flinch.
Yeah.
He will not. He's like, we're going to war. That's right. We're going.
Well, I guess Jesus loves terrorists.
It's
like, what?
But they must have killed you for a reason. Next story here on the.
Tell me, was there a Saddam back then? Clicks his papers with nothing written on them.
Yeah. I guess Jesus really was Arab.
It's like the Pope's like,
no wonder the bias here.
Love your neighbor, love your terrorists. That's what he's really saying.
This guy,
you anti-war? Fuck.
This guy's a Catholic and he's willing to go head up with the Pope just to get us to war. Man. Like they pull out all stops here. This is like right before the fucking invasion.
He has no like moral. Like...
His character's evil, man. It's pure evil. It's beautiful. Right.
Anna Ruddle, Herndon, Virginia. As a Catholic, I'm appalled. The Pope John Paul II has not aggressively challenged child molesters and tyrants. Perhaps our church needs a...
Viewer mail. It's like, you guys wrote that, didn't you? Can you imagine? It's like, hey, is Susanna Ruddle a real person?
I don't know.
I'm appalled. Look, go back. Let me hear this again. As a Catholic, I am appalled that John Paul II has not aggressively challenged child molesters and tyrants. Perhaps our church needs a regime change too.
Challenge child molesters and tyrants. Perhaps our church needs a regime change too.
Do you hear how?
Look at his face. Like, can you imagine the military just rolling in the church?
One of those guys fucking wrote that. I can't imagine a human being, just a normal person, just who's not playing a character.
Yeah.
Maybe need a regime change in the Vatican too, huh?
That means shut the fuck up, John. Know your role. Know your role, John. Shut your mouth. When it comes to the Iraq War. Look at his face. That's like, we'll get you. Come on.
You can't argue against God.
Who is this man?
But you can now.
Michael Vincent, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Wild Bill, the papacy has only made 2 infallible statements in the past 150 years. You average about 3 a show. The Pope giving any backing to this war would endanger Christians around the world. Irene Elena May, Roanoke, Virginia. Mr. O'Reilly, I personally find it hard to believe that this Pope, who was a staunch supporter of freedom in his native Poland, would be so opposed to a war that would release thousands of people from the iron fist of the tyrant Saddam.
So if these are real people, you can hear the brainwashing. You hear counterpoints too, but those aren't great counterpoints. So you can hear the manipulation going on. We're doing it for freedom. We're going to free those people.
Tom Rona, Barnegat, New Jersey. Bill, why do you bother going to Mass? If you don't believe the Holy Father is infallible, you are not a Catholic. Mr. Verona, you are so misguided. The Pope is only infallible when he speaks on the issues of faith and morals, not public policy.
What?
What? That nails it right there. That's perfect. He's only, infallible on morals.
Christ, man.
Not policy. So if your policy is to kill children, does the Pope have no saying in it? It's policy, not morals.
Man.
It's policy, not morals.
Leave anything moral at the door. Just leave it there.
It's about policy.
Fuck.
Yes, that ridiculous. It was that ridiculous.
Literally like going to an airport. All right, take off anything metal. Leave your morals here in the bag.
Yeah.
Walk through the line. He's empty. Quickly sign this paper so we can bomb everybody. Okay, here's your morals back. Keep walking.
This feels like Mystery Theater.
Say 50 Hail Marys and you'll forget all about it. It's either this or you can go pray to the giant owl in the woods.
Fuck. Bill's probably been there.
I bet he has, man. I bet he got his ass slapped or something like that.
EA Bear, Los Angeles. Bill, it seems to me, for all the time you spend pontificating, perhaps a little humility might draw you closer to the truth. The Pope himself has not called this an unjust war. Well, Ms. Bear, the Pope calls the war immoral, okay? Larry Papa.
What?
Calls it immoral, okay?
All right, I showed you. Big Bill wins again. It's like, what?
The holy leader of my religion called this immoral, okay?
Imagine. Oh, yeah, Bill.
God.
Oh, yeah, Bill?
He just doesn't
Well,
get
the Pope called the war wrong. Actually, he called it a disgusting act of humanity, and it's completely immoral in any way possible. That's right. It's like, you're just making yourself look bad.
I know.
Fuck. I mean,
What?
Oregon of
Fuck. What?
this dude is a supervillain. This dude is.
His character is pure evil. It's beautiful.
Like, you belong in a Superman movie, man. Straight up.
Someone needs to make a museum with this guy's picture and quotes all over the place.
Oh.
It'd be beautiful.
Unfortunately, if things go my way, there will be.
The Wall of Tyranny.
Oh,
Bill O'Reilly.
The History of Tyranny. This one's gonna be. No, it's called. Well, I'm not stealing it, Bill. The Origins of Evil.
Fuck. Nah, he's not. He's not an originator.
Oh, it's a whole museum.
Ah, okay. All right.
It's not big enough. See, we're gonna go everywhere, and then there's the specifics. That's what I'll call it. Personification of evil, and then there's the wing where it's like, there's the brainwashing wing. See, it all started back in the 20s. Probably even before then, but you get my point.
Let's continue.
People who sell each other. Hey guys, these guys are gonna sell you out. Your own people.
Let's continue.
All people, Pope John Paul should understand how delay caused the unnecessary deaths of my family and millions of other Polish citizens as Hitler marched through Poland. If the world had stood up to him in 1936, Poland would not have been enslaved for 50 years.
Is that anti-Semitic? To compare the Nazi regime to someone who's not, like, to the Nazi regime?
Could be.
I don't know.
Is Bill O'Reilly an anti-Semite?
Probably. I think he hates everything.
Can you imagine if they tricked him? Like, Israel says that they're opposed against the Iraq War. Well, they're wrong. You're an anti-Semite.
I don't think that would work on him.
Probably
For
not.
some reason,
Probably
it just
not.
wouldn't work.
Probably not.
Let's continue.
Pat Corbat, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Bill, don't worry too much about the Catholic League thinks of you. Well, Mr. Corbat, if I worried about what everybody thought of me, I'd be in a jar somewhere. Kevin Mann, also
You
from
already
Mr.
are.
O'Reilly, I'm a 16-year-old high school student, and I believe the best way to teach is for teachers not to give us their opinions, but to help us find our own. Kristen Chen, Ocean Township, New Jersey. I am a 14-year-old in 8th grade. Lately, my class has been asking our teachers if we could discuss the war with Iraq. But most teachers respond by telling us it is not appropriate.
Just wait.
Well, I disagree with that, Kristen. You guys should be able to discuss this and any other important topic in your history and civics classes. And you can tell the teacher I said that. How about the website? Why don't you check that out?
Pause it.
www.
Like, yeah, let's just get the military to roll in. You know, take over the schools.
I thought he said something else there. Hey, I'm thinking of something
Still
else.
funny.
www.foxnews.com/O'Reilly. Beautiful spring day here in Washington, and that means you need Factor Gear. It also means you need a paperback copy of The No Spin Zone, which is in your bookstore right now.
Oh my
on the
God! Look,
website,
they sell
Amazon,
shit there too.
Yeah. In between, military campaigns, they sell you.
Talks of death, but anyway, look at this new pocket protector. Look at it.
But before we get to that, do you own a gun?
Fuck.
You should. I own one. And cowboy boots.
Hey, too many nights away from your home. Too many nights away from your wife. Say no more. Get a dildo. Make sure it's imprinted on your own dick, and your wife can have it. Please, they're from far away.
Barnes & Noble. Now, why do you need a paperback copy of The No Spin Zone on a nice spring day? I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. Also, please email us with pithy comments. O'Reilly at foxnews.com. O'Reilly at foxnews.com. Now, we're getting about 30,000 letters a week, okay? So the odds of getting on are not that great. But if you keep it pithy, right to the point, and you have a little different take, then you got a better chance. But even if you don't get on the air, I read a lot of the mail. I read about 1,000 letters today, okay? And that helps me formulate my analysis, talking points, and all of that stuff based on
you don't.
what you guys are, how you're seeing it. So it's
I think it means his staff does.
Yeah.
Maybe he reads them if they're like one-liners, constant, like the shit we just
Here's
read.
the shit.
They're like one and two liners.
It's like, dude, you say too much bad shit for me to fucking trust you.
With anything, really.
With anything, yeah.
worth to write us. And we'd like to hear from all of you around the world as well. All right? That is it for us today. As always, we thank you for watching The Factor. Please remember the Radio Factor on Westwood One, where we're causing trouble every
that music. Now keep playing it. Put that.
day. Hannity and Combs is next. Dan Quayle will be with them. I'm Bill O'Reilly reporting this evening from Washington, D.C. We do hope to see you again next time. And remember, the spin stops right here.
So, yeah, there's no closing.
Wait.
No closing analysis. That's it. Video's over. Please subscribe if you feel like.
No.
Always comment. Please consider donating to Devon Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box. The website's at the very intro to this video and our past videos. Please consider donating. Any amount will help. And with that said, please give this video a thumbs down.
Wait.
Say you wanna get in.